You might be wondering what this setup is all about. Me too. Today, I'm photographing mushrooms. Because today, we're using our macro lens. Okay, I just found this really cool mushroom. It's purple. It's in the middle of this forest. The light is on it. Let's photograph it. That light is really cool on this mushroom right now, but let's see if we can step it up a little bit. I'll show you how to do that. These right here, these are little Apurture MC LED lights. And when you're shooting macro stuff, especially in a dark forest like this, it's always cool to bring these little battery powered lights. I've got them attached to these little GoPro arms. They have little attachments there that screw on threads like that. Oh, hello Maverick. That's my dog. So we're gonna set these up. They have little clamps on the bottom here. Now we're gonna clamp them around or just lay them around so I can use a little bit of extra light to shoot. And this light is really bright on my face right there. Just like when you're lighting a subject, like a person, you have your key light, but then also a little backlight or hair light. So that's what we're gonna do for this little mushroom and see what we can do. This is the setup we got going on right now. This light here is lighting from this way. We got a little backlight going over here, and we're adding some nice color and contrast to this photo with this extra light. One thing with macro photography is that your depth of field is very shallow. So you either want to make sure that you have less of a shallow depth of field, unless you'd want that. So you need more light because a macro, usually 2.8, needs a lot of light, or you just up your ISO to do that. But let's get a couple shots and show you a little before and after with natural light versus this now light posed photo. So what I'm going to do now is a thing called focus stacking. I'm going to get a few shots at different focal lengths, at different focuses to try to bring everything into focus, because the depth of field is so shallow. I want to make sure I'm like doing a different point of focus on the mushroom. So once I put it back into Lightroom, I can then stack those different focus points together to make one whole photo that's in focus. So let's try that. Manual focus. I should really be using a tripod for this, but we're gonna try without it. Hopefully that worked. Hey, sorry for the interruption, but if you haven't subscribed yet, press the little subscribe button. I would appreciate that. All right, back to your regular scheduled programming. Look at how tiny these guys are. They're smaller than my fingernail. Loving this little bit of light that's coming naturally on these mushrooms here. Let's see if we can photograph these ones. So first of all, we're going to use our natural light. Now let's try using the natural light with a little bit of focus stacking as well. Now let's add our lights to this. So one nice thing is this has got little clampy arms here, so I'm going to clamp it onto this stump right here. And it's articulating. Turn this light on here. I'm going to get a little backlight here. Let's see what we can do now. Already this looks way better. There we go. Before and the after. So the other cool thing about these Apurture lights is that they are RGBW, so that means you can change the color on these. So found a nice little cool little mushroom here, and we're going to now change the color on this. I'm gonna go with a blue, I think, for this little mushroom. There we go. So we got a little blue light, purplish light on this mushroom here, hiding in this little corner. I'm gonna use this one here as well with a regular light on it on this side. And again, these clamps are so helpful. There's a nice little tree root right here. I'm just gonna stick it on there like this, turn the light like that. I really should be using a tripod. That looks really cool. I'm gonna turn these lights off just to show you the difference between lighting a scene versus not. So this is the mushroom now, all on its own. All right, this mushroom's cool right here. I've got a slug that's hanging out underneath it. Gonna see if we can get a shot with the slug and this mushroom here. So again, let's do a before and after lighting versus not lighting this subject. I like this little shrub right in front too, little bush coming out. All right, so this is no lighting. All right, let's add some lights here. Everything's rotting away here. The slug's moving. I want to get him before he leaves. He's actually moving pretty fast for a slug. All right, our one light died. It's okay, we can get another one here. We'll go charge it in just a sec, but I do want to get this slug here before he goes away. Little eyes popping out. This one we're not focus stacking because the slug is moving. Believe it or not, it's actually moving quick. One of the batteries in the lights just died, so we're gonna go charge that up, go have some lunch, come back and see if we can do round 2. I just remembered, in my truck, boom, battery bank. These lights use a USB-C, just a little battery bank on here. I'll grab some cords and we'll continue on with our day. All right, let's try a few more shots of some fungus out in the forest. That's fun to say, fungus in the forest. And then we'll go back to the office and edit these up and see what we got. So the key to finding mushrooms here on the Pacific Northwest is after a dry spell, which is what we've had last little while, right after a rain, a couple days after a rainfall, the mushrooms will pop off. So that's kind of the key, what you want to look for. So going into a dense forest, it's nice and wet, and you're looking all around, trying to find some mushrooms growing. So there you go, you can see this mushroom is just starting to come out of the ground here. Another day or two, she'll be all out of the ground. Here's a really cool fungus growing. All right, first things first, let's do a shot without the lights and then one with the lights and see how it turns out. I probably shouldn't have worn beige pants today. I feel like I'm destroying them. My wife's not gonna be happy with me. That is cool looking. Nature is wild. Looks like a piece of coral in the ocean. My wife's never seen Stranger Things, and we're watching it right now. This one's totally got a little upside down flavor to it, so let's see if we can give it a little upside down treatment. So again, these lights are USB powered, so I'm going to plug them both in to this wonderful charger right here, and hopefully we get some juice going into these batteries. Oh yeah, we're charging, baby. All right, let's give it the Stranger Things treatment here. We're gonna go with a red light. There we go. Backlight it with red, I think. Let's add another light. Let's see what we got here. So I've added a white light right in front. I think that's gonna make it pop out just enough that we have the shot we want. Very cool. My poor pants. I'm gonna try to find one more mushroom to photograph here, and I think we'll call it. Just one more on the hunt for mushrooms. Oh my gosh, look how slimy this one looks. We're definitely getting a photo of this one. This mushroom's so gooey. A little light popping through. All right, let's get some lights on this baby. Don't like that light. I'm gonna try switching this light color because I'm not really liking the orange. Yeah, that's much better, I think. It's so slimy. I'm not sure why it's slimy, but it is, and I love it. Here's the reason why I did this photo shoot today, was to show you that you don't need a lot to take a cool photo. A macro lens on your camera with a couple of lights can really make something special if you're just looking in the right location for the right thing. The number one comment I get from people is, you are so lucky to live where you live and to see the things that you get to see. And I 100% agree. I am lucky to live where I live and see the things that I get to see, and not everyone gets to experience all of these things that I get to do. Here's the thing. I haven't always lived here. I lived in the city. I had to find ways to be creative in places where sometimes not a lot was going on. So I do hope this video was an encouragement to you that there's always ways to get outside, be creative, do something different with your photography. With just a few resources and a little out-of-the-box thinking, you can go and take some fun photos, go explore the back forest, the park near your house, the city that you live in. There's always fun ways to do things if you just think a little bit different. It's not always about doing the same thing the same way every single time. It's always good to challenge yourself, to try something different, something that you're not used to. I am not a macro photographer, but today I decided, you know what? I need to get outside and be creative and do something a little different, or I'm gonna go crazy. And that's what I did, and I hope that encourages you to do the same, to step outside of your wheelhouse and do something fun just for the sake of doing something fun. So with just a couple of lights and a macro lens and my camera, I was able to do some fun photos, and I hope that shows the difference between doing the things the way you normally do it, aka just with your lens and your camera. If you grab a couple of lights, these Apurture ones are great, and throw them on your macro photos, add it to a shot that you're shooting with someone where you need a little more lighting on their face. Adding that little touch of light just makes the photo just that little bit better.